What do you think about risk? What about now? And now it's getting bigger and bigger, and everybody is talking about risk. They say that we need to take risk, and they say that high risk means high reward. That's what they say. And in my opinion, to take risk, you need foresight, you need to be prepared, and you need to be bold, preferably in this order. But today at Grow Digital 2023 and tomorrow, we will be talking about generative AI, space tech, Industry 5.0, semiconductors, quantum, and more. And all these technologies are coming with risks and opportunities. They can enable new business models. They can enable growth in society, but they also come with threats and risks in case there is a misuse of these technologies. So the question is, where is the line between innovation and regulation? Do we need regulation at all? Can we simply take these technologies, deploy them without any rule, and see what happens? Or do we need to have a regulation that supports innovation? That's a good question, and probably nobody has the answer. But in order to analyze this, I'd like to see and look at what happens out there. This is a recent article. The godfather of AI leaves Google because of ethical concerns about the development of AI. So the people that invested a lot of time and energy and money and research on AI now are questioning whether this is going too fast or not. Elon Musk himself, he suggested that we should take a 6-month break. I don't think it's very realistic. Still, that was his suggestion. Even worse, AI can be used to spread misinformation. You see an example from Venezuela when thanks to some AI algorithm, they managed to spread fake news and support one of the two parties in the elections. And I'm not telling you which party was the one that used this. But there's more in this risk versus benefit for linked to the deployment of this technology. Somebody says that we are having a skilled shortage. And this is something we feel as well when we speak with our entrepreneurs, with our partners, with our corporates. We lack talents able to use and know and master the technology. At the same time, somebody else, even the person from Google, is saying that technology can bring job displacement. So where's the truth? I believe the truth is in the middle. On the one hand, technology can make manual tasks faster or better, more reliable. At the same time, people are always behind technology. They need to master it. Technology doesn't do things on its own. So probably the truth is in the middle. And this is confirmed when we look at some reports. For example, Korn Ferry is saying that the talent shortage is equal to 8.5 trillion missed revenues. And even the World Economic Forum is telling us that upskilling and reskilling should be at the center of every organization, should be at the center of the strategy of every organization. And what about Europe? We are in Europe, we are here in a conference of 2 days about Europe, European innovation. So what happens in Europe now that we looked at the world? Europe is having foresight. When it comes to regulation, we are always seen as the front runner at a worldwide level. Somebody laughs about it, somebody takes it seriously, and I think in some cases at least, things have been done in a proper way, and then we were followed by the rest of the world. See the Data Act, for example. To define a common way of granting access to and use of data. The Data Governance Act, to regulate the way businesses and consumers can interchange and sharing data between themselves. And of course, it goes without saying, the AI Act, everybody talks about that almost on a daily basis. And when regulation is done this way, in my view, it can support innovation. It is done with foresight. It was one of the first things I said earlier today. However, regulation, or I don't know if I have to call it regulation or I should call it rather reaction, sometimes regulation is done out of fear. This is a snapshot I took from ChatGPT in Italy after the government decided to shut down ChatGPT because they were concerned about what the implications that the tool could have on citizens. I don't think that's the right way of doing things if this is not done with foresight. It's just a reaction out of fear about something we don't know and something we don't know how to master. I don't think it's the way to do it. But let's also look for a second at the talent part that I described before. In Europe, we are quite strong at building talents. You see, we are just on par with the US when it comes to the number of talent that are grown and educated in Europe. The issue is on the other side, that most of them are then going to the US or other parts of the world. So about 20% of them are raised and educated in Europe, but only 6% stays in Europe or comes to Europe from other parts of the world. When it comes to investment, investors are also taking a risk. They invest in European deep tech innovation. In 2022, European deep tech startups raised $17.7 billion. It is less than 2021, it's fair to be said. At the same time, it's about 60% more than 2020. So there's appeal for European deep tech innovation at a global level. So the summary is that given that these technologies and these dynamics are so-called winner takes most, Europe has truly a potential to step up and to play at a different pace, at a different speed, and a greater scale. So the potential is definitely there. And here it comes, EIT Digital. We are the largest European deep tech innovation ecosystem. We have 56 universities in our network, 500 startups, 350 partners representing the key industry and the SMEs in Europe. We have thousands of investors, 21 offices in Europe, about to open another 2 or 3 in the coming months, and a hub in Silicon Valley. And we trained more than 3,000 students through our master school, creating those talents I was mentioning before, creating T-shaped talents. Talents that know how to master technology with a very deep technical knowledge, but at the same time know how to apply this technology to the business, how to implement this technology. We have a portfolio of 250 companies where we are actually investors and shareholders of this company, and we supported fundraising for more than €1 billion for other scale-ups that access to our programs. And we run open innovation programs with other funders for more than 200 million for the last 2 years. And we do this, all these numbers are created through this funnel from our journey that we call From Student to Unicorn. So our ambition is that we take our students out of the bachelor through the master, we educate them on how to build an MVP, how to build their company. Through our incubation, we help them creating their company, we invest in their ideas, we accelerate them through open innovation programs, connecting them with corporates to run a proof of concept, to further develop their MVPs. And then, through our growth services, we help them raising Series A and B funding and maybe make their first exit. Of course, this is the ideal journey, but we have a number of other innovators, entrepreneurs, and companies that are joining our programs halfway through, just to get support, for example, to get their next Series A funding, or to build their first company through our venture program. And on top of this, we like to connect the makers, the corporate leaders, the companies, the entrepreneurs, with the shapers, the policymakers, the public administration, the governmental leaders, to exchange views. We facilitate the connection between them, because we truly believe that in order to make innovation happen and to grow innovation, and especially to grow innovation made in Europe, we need to have this exchange between those that are making the rules and those that are taking the risk by creating their own companies or to growing them. And we do this by publishing, analyzing key challenges and publishing them in reports. You see the most recent one was launched last week, and it is about the relationship between Europe and the US on technology. We cover also horizontal topics like, for example, the future of education for digital skills or green technologies, green digital technologies. But we also cover vertical, for example, the implementation of AI with a European approach respecting human rights. And there are 5 of them that you can find on our website. In addition, we facilitate the connection between the makers and the shapers through interviews, and you see some familiar faces in the middle of my slide. And we publish articles on Tier 1 media, and the focus is always the same: to connect, exchange views, and make sure that there is a fruitful exchange between the makers and the shapers. And on top of that, we have Grow Digital 23. This is the perfect event to connect the makers and the shapers, to listen to more than 30 amazing speakers representing industry, academia, the European Commission, member states, and to observe in the Innovators Village the innovation from our entrepreneurs, from our innovators. Those are the guys behind the numbers I showed before. We couldn't bring the 1,000 of innovators with us, but you will see a good number of them, and you will have the opportunity to test their innovation. You can talk to them, understand their needs, get their success stories, but also understand what was their journey with the EIT Digital. I think that's very important for you also to listen to that part. And on top of that, a new element from this year is that tonight, in the room behind that wall, we will host the final of the EIT Digital Challenge 2023. The EIT Digital Challenge is the flagship competition for European deep tech scale-ups. And for the first time, we have the final together with Grow Digital. And so tonight, you will have the opportunity, together with investors and representatives from corporates, to listen to their amazing pitch and see who are the winners. There will be 20 of them, and 5 of them will be awarded. So with this, I'd like to conclude. I'd like to thank you for being here. I wish you to have a great time. I wish you to mingle as much as you can, to test our innovation, but especially to exchange views, because I think it's a unique opportunity for the makers to meet the shapers, and for the shapers to talk to the makers. And that's what Europe needs, in my opinion. So welcome everyone, enjoy these 2 days, and I will see you around in the coming hours. Thank you.